Frequencies of thought. Peace to all the poor righteous teachers out there. This is Frequencies of Thought. Today's topic is a hot El Niño topic. We're talking about the El Niño today. So without further ado, let's begin. Peace and blessings, everyone. Okay, so this is for all of you people out there who literally, you were trying to tell other people that I don't know what I'm talking about and that I'm bugging. And that the things I'm saying is just too out there. It's not real. Well, as I said, everything that I've stated is what's happening, is what's going to happen, and what I'm telling you is what it is. Here we are, this website. Now, this is just one of thousands. But this website, it's just really sad that I even got to go through this with you guys, because many of you claim to be spiritual, claim to be religious. So when someone comes to you with the truth, you guys, instead of listening to learn, you guys listen to reply. So you just hear it just to literally attack it. Well, the truth gets attacked all the time, and nothing will defeat the truth. This is called nanopore. Now, in case you don't know what nanopore actually means, that word, all over your body, you are covered in pores. These pores, many of them is where you have sweat glands that literally release the sweat through in the forms of salt, as well as hair can grow in them. You can get diseases through them. You can get little rashes and so on and so forth through your pores. Now, nano literally mean nanotechnology, meaning microscopic, nearly beyond microscopic. So it's even smaller. It's a nano technology. And what they do through this nanopore, it's nanotechnology that goes and transfers through your pores. Now, remember I explained that your cell phone wasn't called a cell phone because it was the best name that they could think of. It's called a cell phone because through your cell phone, they can transmit information as well as take information from you. So whatever you guys are thinking about, or thinking about hiding, or thinking about hurting something or someone, the government already knows that. They know what you're thinking. They're actually, a lot of you are thinking for them. You guys are thinking for them. This is how they know things before time. This is how Q's able to actually tell you things before they're going to happen. This is not only because they are reading your mind, but because they're putting it in your mind to do it. So this is what's going on. Now you people are beginning to see the true power of the government, what the government has really been up to. When I tell you that these things deal with the metals in your body, when I tell you that the border war is literally talking about severing you from your higher self and keeping you in your lower nature, and keeping you away from those people who are going to achieve that higher nature, you have to understand and literally take the words that I'm saying. If you don't want to believe it, go research it. Because it's sad that you guys would rather believe the most outrageous things about things from other planets and all of these things. None of that is possible. It's only possible through your body. You're the reason why you're in America. That's why you're here. Because in your body, in the fifth dimension, when you finally begin to understand anything about the spiritual realm and dimensions, you'll come to realize that the fifth dimension is the cosmos. And the cosmos is found within your own body. You hold those portals, those DNA sequences in your body are time warps. Your ancestors, you are the ancestor. Everything of your past, any memory that your ancestors had, any life that any of your ancestors had, you have it in your blood. And that is the timeline. This is why DNA is time, and time is energy, and energy is being used in the form of money against you. Pay attention to what I'm telling you. You see, DNA has sequence, and DNA literally is the fragments of electrons, protons, and neutrons within your body. The word sequence literally means time. So if your DNA is working on a sequence, that literally means that your DNA is time. It's not working on time, it is time. And at this point in time, it is time for you to wake up. So now, what you are seeing is that with each fragment of thought that you are putting out there into reality, it's only costing the amount of time that you value as time, because you are giving it the value that it doesn't really need. If you was to just live and understand that you are just here to pass the time, so to say, you'll realize that nothing has the value in which you are giving it. For you are not of this world, you're just in this world. So this fragment thinking of you giving things with no value is costing you time, and that time is being paid by your DNA. See, what you have done is literally give a price on thought, or a value on thought, which never originally was supposed to have a value, because anything good has no boundaries. So how can you value it? Value it because the evil one values it. And since the evil one values it, and he knew that you didn't, what he did was he made you think that it was an importance to you to value. What am I speaking of anyway? I'm speaking of your thoughts. I'm speaking of that which you are able to do. You are able to manifest through creation, through thought. And the evil one knew this, so what he did was he tricked you and made you believe that all things in this world need a value. But he didn't have to trick himself. He had to trick you into believing that your thoughts had a value. So now you walk around here valuing every single thing, including your thoughts. An idea wasn't always something valuable. An idea was a thought that was brought into existence for everyone else. It's the invaluable. So now, understanding that, let's see how many of you can understand that you must be swift and interchangeable, thoughtfully, consciously, in order to understand that DNA is working on a sequence of time, which literally means you can go back as well as forward in your time, or in your thoughts, as they say. So do me a favor and pay attention to all the things around you, because what has been created around you technologically is literally just a reflection of what you're doing internally, what your body's capable of doing internally. They're making you rely on that which is outside of your body instead of what's in your body. So now let's get into the lesson. Here's the company history to the nanopore company. They have another one called like nanotech. They have thousands. I mean, it's probably, it's probably way more than even that. It's just a lot. But pay attention. These are companies that literally deal with the phone, the tablet, your computer. All you have to do is put your fingers on that screen or on that keyboard, and they have technologies that are field-proof. They're sensors. The minute you put your fingerprint, it reads your fingerprints. It reads your DNA. When you hold your phone in your hand, it reads it. When you are tapping and scrolling through the videos, it's reading it. And all of that information is literally getting categorized and placed into something that they call the biometric data system. This data system is ran by artificial intelligence. Each artificial intelligence chip, each one, and they have millions of them, can literally manage and track and trace without a single problem 6 million people at one time, one chip. And they got millions of these chips. Many of these appliances already have these chips inside them, and you don't even know it. Pay attention to what I'm saying, because these are things that are crucial. You need to know this, because like I said, you guys have to come here so that I can teach you, and others like me can teach you as well. We're not just telling you these things. We're genuinely trying to save your lives. We're genuinely trying to literally give you the word of God. Give you that which you guys are calling the head cornerstone of your religion, of your faith, of your philosophy. This is how we obtain this knowledge. We didn't go out there searching or researching any of this. These are things that were given to us so that we can give to you for moments like this, so that you guys can be well prepared, tell your family and friends, and get to where you need to go when you see the signs. So now, this website right here is one of the most illest, and I chose this one for a specific reason, because like I said, all of these appliances that you're touching, even the refrigerator ones that you can tap them now like a cell phone, the microwaves, all of these things are literally reading your biometric sensor. They're reading that in you. That is found in your nucleus. In your nucleus, you have the outer ring, which is dissolving, but that which is in is the information of who you are and who your ancestors were, as well as the things that you are going to do later on. It's literally all written, everything. It's called the Akashic Record to most people, but to many of you, you might not know anything about that just yet. But literally, everything that you do, all of the things that you guys ever thought of or are about to think of, everything that's recorded by something called the Bindu. The Bindu is located in your medulla oblongata. It's also located in your cell nucleus. Your cell nucleus is literally what categorizes who you are, who your ancestors were, and who they're gonna be, and who you're gonna be, who your children are gonna be, so on and so forth. Remember that you as a human being right now, what you really are is energy. Understanding that you're energy, what ends up happening is that you actually understand from my past prior videos that memory is also energy. And if memory is also energy, then that literally means that your DNA is not only energy, but it generates energy, which is why you have metals in your body. This is why the good foods out of anything that you eat are those that are high in different types of metals. What happens in your body with these metals is that they literally go into your body through, with the plasma, literally breaks this stuff down, and it meets another piece of metal, and it fuses through what your heart, through the power that the heart actually has. Your heart is basically like a magnet, and it fuses. Let's say you got two metals, iron and mercury. It'll fuse those two together, and that component literally is what forms more energy for you in the form of thought, physical energy, so on and so forth. Now, going into this website, I went into the resource center, and this resource center, we're just going to point out a few things. weak virus identification within infected tissue using nanopore sequencing technology. What that is right there talking about is literally how to cure this or how to inject this. And we can click on it, but I don't want to go do that right now because I'm trying to get this done. But this is basically what it's talking about. The next one says diagnosis and characterization of canine distemper virus through sequencing by minion nano. Now understand, many of you got children, you've seen minions. Understand that minions look like little capsules, right? Well, those little capsules are forms of iron. Minion, with the ion at the end. Ion. So minimal or small ion is what they're basically saying. So understanding that aspect, now we can click on one of them. Okay, so I just clicked on one of the research centers ones. The one that I tapped on is the one that says minion sequencing to genotype U.S. strains of infections laryngotracheus virus. Now this is a virus that they actually can ingest into somebody or give somebody, and they can heal it. And this is what these people sell. This is the real patent of healing these issues that a lot of these elites and stuff have. Now, understanding that this is also to heal these animals or ingest this virus into those animals or ingest the cure into these animals. This is how they do it. Over the last decade, the U.S. broiler industry has fought long-lasting outbreaks of infectious whatever that name is, previous 9 genotypes. Remember in all my past videos, I explained that all of this has to do with your body. Whenever they're talking about space, whenever they're talking about tech, whenever they're talking about science, whenever they're talking about a new archaeological find, all of this literally, a false flag, all of these things literally mean that. Today, as a matter of fact, we had something that occurred in Illinois at a water industry warehouse or whatever. The point is that the word noise or Illinois is ill in noise. That's the word Illinois, broken down syllable wise. Ill in noise. Ill means sick. In means inside of something. Noise, N-O-I-S, literally means water. At a water warehouse in Illinois. So you have to understand the messages that they're saying. Remember I told you they're going to attack your body by attacking the metals within your body. Why the metals? Because the metals are the ones that are waking you up through the sun's ions. The sun's ions is causing your body to overheat, reach a certain type of temperature, and it's fusing all these metals inside you, and it's bringing about the Christ consciousness in many of you. Look at the 144,000. You divide 144,000 by 364 days, you get 400. Exactly. Why? Because it is written in scripture that after the 400 years, you will be released out of bondage. But what does that actually really mean? It literally means that you have 144,000 type of cerebral cells, spiritual cells in your cerebral cortex that literally will reawaken you into the person who you truly were meant to be. The scriptures and all the books and tablets all say that as it was before when the gods roamed the earth, so it shall be. You are those gods. It ain't gonna happen right now, but in time, with the proper teaching and the proper mentoring and the proper conditioning of your bodies, you all will literally be able to control these humanistic, beastly ways that we've adapted, because we've adapted them. Now, I tapped on another. This one says identification of pathogens in culture, negative infective endocarditis cases by metagenomic analysis. Now, This is literally what you can call targeting people. So nationalistic targeting. So when they say culture negative, infective, endocarditis, whatever, they're literally talking about, let's say, for example, they don't like people in Mexico. Or, as a matter of fact, let's keep it here in the U.S. We all know that the Ebola virus was created in a lab. And what they do is that they literally create these pathogens so that they can literally just literally really hurt and infect one group of people. Of course, everybody else can get it as well, but what they'll do is that they'll go to a pro-black or a pro-Spanish or a pro-white group, and they'll literally get two girls to go into that vicinity, lure the guys, put it in their drink, or kiss them, put it in their mouth, or somehow these are nanopores, so they can literally just rub your hand. And what ends up happening is that these people just got infected, and now he's gonna go home to his family and kids and friends, and everybody get it. And this is literally what they do. This is literally the type of war that we've been in this entire time. It is a spiritual war. Why is it a spiritual war? Because these things all combat your way of thinking. All of these things combat the way you're thinking. So the pathogen identification is critical for the proper diagnosis and precise treatment of infective endocarditis. Although blood and vial cultures are the gold standard for IE pathogens detections, many cases are culture negative, especially in cases pardon me, I lost where I was at. Many cases are culture negative, especially in patients who have received long-term antibiotic treatment, and precise diagnosis has therefore become a major challenge in the clinic. Metagenomic sequencing can provide both information on the pathogen strain and the antibiotic susceptibility profile of patient samples without culturing, offering a powerful method to deal without culture negative cases. Now, 1 second. You see where it says without culturing? A culture is literally a test. Something they would do, they would literally go get a culture of something or a sample of something and then test that out. This is so precise that they do not even need it. They don't need it. And then a little beforehand, it said that it was literally in case certain people are not susceptible to this pathogen, that they have ways to literally bypass all of that by literally finding a different strain to the pathogen, or anybody who has antibiotic sustainability profile. So with the iodine that I speak of, the cherry chart juice, the fruits, the grapes and the cherries and berries, these things are all, they create the medicines that your body needs to rejuvenate. And that's what it's talking about. There's ways for them to target you, but for the most part, by eating and indulging in these ways of literally sanitizing yourself, you are literally eliminating the cases of being targeted and actually infected by a lot. So always try to, take care of yourself, because it's important. You don't want to be caught out there. They have many methods of doing this, and you guys see the name of this, so you guys could go look it up on your own and read it on your own. I just literally wanted to shut some of you false, fake narrative people up, because you're trying to scare people instead of giving the people the truth. I've already exposed all that Planet X fake lie that you guys go in. That's all literally dealing with your genes. It's important that you guys realize that. I have brung you the truth. I have not lied to you. And that's basically what it boils down to. and I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna keep dropping the truth. I'm gonna keep literally exposing anybody, and I'm willing to challenge anybody out there on any of your spiritual books, any of those books that y'all think y'all know. I'm willing to take you any which way you want, and we could go there. But the point is, understanding these things on how they can transmit as well as secrete or input certain types of ideas, viruses, diseases, sicknesses, as well as literally extract your train of thought. This is what this is all about. This is what they want. They literally want to be able to do that. And in the same manner, this is how you get body snatched. This is the real way of how you become a sleeper cell. Many of you have seen plenty of times where they'll go and they'll knock on a door and the person will come out and they'll be like, oh, your brother Billy, can you tell us about why he might have done what he did? And they'll be like, he was such a loving guy. He has 3 children. You know, he's got a dog and a cat. You know, he's never done anything. He wouldn't hurt a fly. We don't know what happened. You know, he was obviously troubled or going through depression. And this is why they also target those with mental health issues, so that it just fits the narrative. And they'll literally make you look like a whack job, you know. And you guys all know that. Now, so that's how they basically can body snatch you. So many of you right now who probably still out there drinking, going out, smoking behind other people, all of this, you have to understand the risk that you're taking. You're literally doing all of that at a risk, because you can literally do that, blank out, kill your entire family, you know, and then wake up and literally have no clue about what happened, and they're literally telling you you did all these things, you know. And it doesn't have to be your family, it could be anybody. So now, you in the nanopore, I want you guys to also check out About Us. Read it. Read all of these things. You'll see that it's literally been going on since World War II, and literally probably way longer than that. And it all deals with your DNA and your RNA. And the RNA is the rib. I don't know how to say that word, but it's dealing with the rib. So it's going all into what literally makes you up molecularly. Understand that? That the ribosomes, I hope I'm not butchering that word, but it's very similar to what I'm trying to say. It literally deals with not just your DNA, but the inside of what makes up your DNA. Understanding that, now we go from there and we look at what are some of these products that we have on us all day long, literally functioning, where to the point where you can't even shut it off, you know. And that's exactly what our cell phones are, what our tablets are, what our computers are. They've become biometric systems that literally integrate with the person, meaning who you are. It becomes you. It replicates everything about you. So just like you have cells in your body that replicate other cells every time you learn something new, so does your computer, so does your phone, so does this AI within the computer that's controlling it. And these are things that are literally pushing one in a direction that he does not need to be. For example, these elites, what they've done, they've taken all of this technology and they've literally used it to push you to the limit in one direction, where you are further and furthering dealing with dealings of technology and not yourself. So right now there are many people around the world, especially the young generation, who can literally tell you more about what makes up their cell phone than they can tell you about what makes up the human body. Why is this a problem? It becomes a problem because this literally means that we have fallen for the trap. The trap is set and we are literally fallen in it. Wake up. Now, for those of you watching the video, what you seen on the screen a little while ago, you just saw something called minions. And according to this company, minions is the minimal or a small type of particle that they can integrate into your pore or the pore of any animal or insect. It doesn't even matter what. They can just literally do it. And what these particles are ions. Now remember, I explained to you in my video, the one who comes before Christ, John, which means ion, literally is what feeds you the information and allows your body to literally break everything down molecularly. So this is what's helping us literally move forward in life. This is what's literally helping us, become who we are, the sun, and the ions from the sun. It's allowing our bodies to heat up to a certain degree, and in our bodies, these metals, once they reach a certain degree, they integrate, they become energy. So they have something called the El Niño. The El Niño, most of you know who are Latin, the word El Niño means the sun. Not the sun in the sky, but the sun, like a baby, the sun. The new you, the rebirth of you is what the El Niño is talking about. It's what it means. So I think it's time for us to look into this El Niño and see exactly what this El Niño is all about. Let's try to learn as much as we can so that we can literally understand what it is that this mission is actually leading us on. You know, there are certain people, certain places, certain events that have taken place that have left us all numb. We're literally lost. We don't know what's going on. So to put them all in perspective, we're gonna now realize why certain things occurred through this El Niño. So without further ado, let's get into some research. El Niño. All right, so before we start, let's make sure we understand all of these words. Surface enhanced Raman spectroscopy. Understanding that each one of these words that are here literally means something completely different. They're just there to throw you off. Anything you see with the SUR literally is talking about the sulfur within your body. So they're talking about the sulfur being the ace in your body. By enhancing that sulfur in your body, that Raman, remember, Ra literally means the sun's rays, which is the ions of the sun, and man is who you are. Man is who you are. Spectroscopy literally means spectrum, meaning the things that you can see. As you can see, it speaks about the slides. And copy literally means something that's not original. It is an imitation. So you are seeing these things because of that. That's what they're basically doing. This is how they make you see the imitation or this matrix that you're living in right now. So right now, remember, the two witnesses are your eyes and your ears, and they're dead. They're about to come back alive, and you're about to realize what this world really looks like and what it really is. This is something you all need to be ready for. Okay, and here we have some of it dealing with the thermal, atmospheric, infrared system that our Earth goes through. And it says surface enhanced Raman spectroscopy, SERS, enhances the, and then it says download scientific diagram. Surface enhanced Raman spectrography enhances the spectral signature of myofibers mounted on nanostructured gold slides when compared to myofibers mounted on. And this more of a culture testing type of thing that they've done, which is how they prove what the human body ends up doing when it reaches a certain peak of radiation. So, understanding that your body produces all these types of metals, from platinum, titanium, iron, zinc, nickel, palladium, platinum, so on and so forth. All of these are precious metals that we mine on this earth to create, jewelry and other things that we do for nothing, basically. But going into the next slide, the atmospheric window is a region in the infrared where the Earth's atmosphere is relatively transparent, through which black body radiation from Earth's surface can escape to space, thereby cooling the planet. Net upward atmospheric radiance spectrum at the tropopoles. Now, I'm going to go more into the black body and how it deals with the atmosphere and everything around you, how it keeps us safe, and more importantly, what is the black body? It's very important that people realize what the black body is and why it's so needed, why it's so important, and why it's so perfect in every way that it was created, showing the true purpose of the Father or the Source or whatever you want to call it. The reason why is because you are made in His likeness, meaning you are just like Him and He is just like you. So whatever you are made out of is literally what He's made out of, and you already know you're His temple. So therefore He dwells in His temple. His temple is His house. So He dwells in that house, and you are that temple. So this is what makes you kin to that Source, to that Father, to that to bring a shorter term, God. For many of you to understand and learn today. All right. So now, understanding, let's look at what the words black body means and how does it relate to the infrared spectrum of the El Niño and what's occurring with the radiation. It says here, this is Wikipedia, and I know that Wikipedia ain't 100% fact, but I actually went in other places and found this, so this is good enough at the moment. A black body, or black body, is an idealized physical body that absorbs all incident electromagnetic radiation, regardless of frequency or angle of incident. A white body is one with rough surface that reflects all incident rays completely and uniformly in all directions. So there's more balance coming off of a black body, is basically what it's saying. A black body in thermal equilibrium, which equilibrium means to balance, that is, at a constant temperature, emits electromagnetic radiation called black body radiation. The radiation is emitted according to Planck's law, meaning that it has a spectrum that is determined by the temperature alone. See figure at right, not by the body's shape or composition. As the temperature of the black body decreases, its intensity also decreases and its peaks move longer wavelengths. Shown for comparison is the classical Rayleigh-Jeans law and its ultraviolet catastrophe. An ideal black body, its thermal equilibrium, has two notable properties. It is an ideal emitter at every frequency. It emits as much or more thermal radiative energy as any other body at the same temperature. It is a diffuse emitter. The energy is radiated isotropically, independent or direction. An approximate realization of a black surface is a hole in the wall of a large insulated enclosure, an oven for example. Any light entering the hole is reflected or absorbed at the internal surfaces of the body and is unlikely to re-emerge, making the hole a nearly perfect absorber when the radiation confined in such an enclosure is in thermal equilibrium. The radiation emitted from the hole will be as great from any body at that equilibrium temperature. So basically, that's basically saying that the sun's rays and the radiation that is given off, those who are of darker body skin or black body are absorbing that radiation from actually hurting you, because if you have light skin, your body's absorbing it instead of making it reflect off of you. Their body's actually reflecting it back off of themselves. is taking it in, and then it's rebalancing what is being emitted from the sun. So it says here, real materials emit energy at a fraction called the emissivity of black body energy levels. By definition, a black body in thermal equilibrium has an emissivity of whatever number that is, equal whatever that is, geometry source with lower emissivity independent of frequency, often is referred to as a gray body. Construction of black bodies with emissivity as close to 1 as possible remains a topic of current interest. In astronomy, the radiation from stars and planets is sometimes categorized in terms of an effective temperature, the temperature of a black body that would emit the same total flux of electromagnetic energy. So that's basically it. Now, the supposition that bodies can be imagined which for infinitely small thickness completely absorb all incident rays and neither reflect nor transmit any, I shall call such bodies perfectly black, or more briefly, black bodies. So now, what is this telling you? This is basically telling you key elements as to why certain people are so perfect, so needed in this world right now. Everybody who has a body has a function, and their body emits frequency. Apparently, through scientific fact, the black body is the most dominant gene body molecular structure that we have on this planet, and therefore should be taken care of and should be protected at all costs. It's very, very important that you guys understand what El Nino is all about. It's literally about these particular black bodies literally going into a transfiguration, so to say. So will everybody else, but these transfiguration that they will go will actually keep many others safe because of the atmospheric changes that we're having at the present moment. Many of y'all are seeing all the plasma situations all around the world that are going on. And these are the reasons why, because they're imbalanced right now. But this El Nino will bring them back into balance. Every El Nino puts them back closer to where they need to be, that mid-range of equilibrium. Now, for many of you who don't know what the equilibrium is, it's literally the liquid between your brain and your skull. It's really what gives you balance in all forms and fashion. So now that we've all literally covered these parts, now we now know what nanopore is. We now know other basic elements of this earth and within your body. And we also learned that El Nino is not really talking about the waters in the equator. You have to understand that not only the earth is covered by 75% water, but so is your body. And your body being covered by 75% water, the waters in your body are literally heating up. And as it heats up, the molecules in your body literally fuse together, creating gold. So your body is literally being refined by fire and turning into gold. How? Through your plasma. We also got to understand that El Nino means the sun. That sun who's being rebirthed, which is you. You are that sun that's being rebirthed. You are that sun that they're all talking about. Understand what the black body is, the equilibrium, and how everything within you is now being risen to a balance, making you equal with all. Frequencies of thought, and I'm out. Peace.